From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hello everybody and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, it is happy hour practice for the World 300 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, we're here. It's Monday and it's the National Sim Group Cup Series happy hour. As you see, Jim Thorndike get really loose out of turn number 4. We're going to bring you close up to the action momentarily. But before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to our channel partners. First, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. Tomorrow night on their YouTube channel, they're going to be talking about the Marvel series Moon Knight, wrestling over everything, Drinking Bros, auto racing, and Hutch Paints. All the links for our channel partners are down in the description below. Go check them out. Tell them All-Star 15 sent you. But let's get down towards the action. We're with you for an hour of this practice. And let's check some things out with our drivers. Right now it's queued in on AJ Cruz. Currently with a lap time of a 30.14 as his fastest. See the 37 above him. Trying to figure out who that is. I think that is Denny Daniels. There he is. Just populated on our screen there. Andrew Mraz goes to P2 right there in a Sim Coach's Toyota Camry. It's a beautiful looking car. Pedal on the throttle coming out of turn 4. From East Lansing, Michigan. Wonderful sponsor, Sim Coaches on the car. And right in the back it says use code RIOT22 to save 10% off your order. Check out that sponsor and give them all the help they can get. Lawrence is a awesome dude and he makes great iRacing equipment. Landon Lacey right now at 29.96. Looks like he's going to take it in after that run right there. Probably working on a qual run. Eddie Daniels with a very fast lap. That'll put him third on the board. Awesome lap time by him. You see Thorndike going through the grass cutting services here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He's in a nice red, white, and blue Riot car in black. Mike Campigio on track right now in an HSR number 9. pretty sure on the hood of that is his podcast. Let's see if we can get a look at that. Oh, I just clicked off of him like a butthead. "126 podcast, 612." We'll have to talk to him a little bit later to see what it is. But hey, gotta love all the sponsors on all these vehicles. Ooh, there goes Jason Blaney. Oh, off the ground. Starting to think that, uh-oh. Oh, that's going to kill Denny Daniels. Look, good thing about practice is you get unlimited cars, which is very good. So we're going to take you to our first commercial break of the evening. When we return, we'll see if we can get a hold of some drivers.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, everybody, we are back. There are our sponsors once again. Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast, Wrestling Over Everything, Drinking Bros, Auto Racing, and Hutch Paints. So now, let's get a word with one of our drivers, and you see him on screen right there. He's the driver number 22, Jason Blaney. Jason, it's AJ up in the booth. Dude, how you doing?
Hey.
How's Charlotte feeling?
Honestly, this is the one track on the schedule that I feel confident that I can do something well at. I feel confident. I've always had a good setup here. Making a little bit of adjustments for the temperature and the time of day, but honestly, it's going better than I expected.
Well, right now you're currently sitting in 5th, just about 2/10 behind Landon Lacey. Now, you've only ran just about, as I'm checking here, 15 laps. Was that 15 laps in one shot, or was it a combination of a couple laps here, a couple laps there to get a couple things tuned in before you try a long run?
Honestly, I just hopped in, tried to figure out, usually what I do, without giving away too many secrets, is you figure out what setup you got and how far it lasts. So, other than issues coming out of pit road, usually I'm known for spinning off the apron in practice sessions. So, once I got out on the track, I just go until it gives out on you. So it's been one long run and then make adjustments from there.
All right, dude. Well, got any sponsors you want to plug while we have you up here in the booth tonight?
Oh man, do I? Yeah, absolutely. Clark Heating and Cooling. They have been with us for so long, doing everything they can to be able to help the Fueled Up grind. Admin Box, all of our button boxes and everything that we use during the races, they help us out a lot with that. They came on board this season for us, specifically allowed us to have some really cool paint schemes, good things to represent. We've also got Swift Home Buyers. Swift Home Buyers has been with us for just about as long as Clark has, and they're on the grind too, all here to make sure that we have things paid for, tracks, and have leagues to show up for, and be able to sponsor races that you'll be broadcasting later on in the season. Obviously, Fueled Up Motorsports and all my guys, we've had a little bit of a rocky road to start the season, but nothing that's going to slow us down. We're still here every week, and honestly, that's how it is. Venue Radio, they help us out on the grind too for a lot of endurance and stock car things. But just thankful for all of them for the the good times, the bad times, and always being here to keep us in the loop and keep us on the grind, trying harder to represent something.
All right, brother. Well, we'll let you get back to tuning that car for the World 300 tomorrow. I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and hopefully by the end of tomorrow night, we're talking to you in a podium interview.
I sure hope so too. Thanks, AJ, and I appreciate you being on the broadcast now.
Absolutely, my friend. You, once again, good luck, and you want me to send you back down there with John?
I got it, man. Thank you, though.
All right. All right, everybody. That was Jason Blaney, the driver of the number 22 Fueled Up Motorsports Shelby GT 500. Man, always good to talk to our drivers. It's always fun to get their aspect of how they're going to try things, what they're going to run. It's going to be fun, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's AJ Cruz currently in 4th place at a 30.10. Right in front of him is Jim Thorndike. You know, looking for a tow, I would assume, to see how that car drives in traffic. But right now, it's all Landon Lacey. Just over a 10th faster than Andrew Mraz. As we brought up Jim Thorndike in the 59. Working on his 27th lap of practice. What's going on, chat? How you guys doing? Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. You'll get a nice, wonderful Stone Cold Steve Austin welcome. And it also unlocks the chat. .32 of Landon Williams. And an awesome Drinking Bros Auto Racing 88 Ford Mustang. That's a nice looking car. It has nothing to do with me being completely biased to Drinking Bros, because they're also a channel partner. Which, go check them out. That Facebook group is phenomenal. It is all things racing, whether it's NASCAR, Formula One, iRacing. Just pick your version of racing. It's there. Go join it. I've been in there about a week, and I've engaged I don't know how many conversations on just, you know, racing I don't understand, and then really getting my book thrown at me. I was like, this is what it is. And very politely, because they took me to school. I'm not a huge F1 person. I've never been a huge F1 person. A lot of the time, I'm still sleeping when the races go on. And this past weekend was all Abu Dhabi, the race, qualifying. It was a lot of fun to really pick people's brains of, you know, how F1 works. But yeah, go check it out if you're into any sort of motorsports and want to just have conversations about it. It's very relaxing. It's fun conversations. And I'm very happy to have them as a channel partner. Another driver putting a lot of laps down right now. It's still Mike Campigio, still on track from when we saw him last. But it looks like Brandon Stouffer right behind him with the Nitro Circus live Ford Mustang. He's getting some laps in. Unfortunately, about just over a half a second behind Landon Lacey. Everybody, this is happy hour practice for the World 300, the race tomorrow night, right here on the channel All-Star 15 TV. We already talked to one of the drivers within the series. That was, as I'm still coughing a little bit, Jason Blaney, the Filthy Five. Or Fueled Up, sorry. He's going to hear that and be like, he got it wrong. How dare he? But yeah, Jason Blaney, the Fueled Up Motorsports, number 22. You see AJ Cruz hit that wall. You see the little damage on the right side there. Got to be careful with that. Got two cars on track right there. It looks like Dalton Fredericks and Gary Wells on track, side by side. Gary Wells in the 30 and Dalton in the Home Depot number 20. Guys are not off the pace completely, but definitely hurting for a good lap time as Brayton Laster goes P7 with that lap. That was a good run for Laster there. Still about 3/10 off of Landon Lacey. Mraz still right on the racetrack in front of Laster. I'm going to jump on board with that number 4 Sim Coach's Toyota Camry. As I do that, he gets off the track. That happens more than I'd like to admit, where you're going to go showcase a driver and he's like, I'm going to go to pit road. Danny Daniels still in that 6th spot with a 30-13. See a lot of drivers hitting the long run right now. Or at least trying a long run. Got AJ Cruz still out on the racetrack. Landon Williams. Campigio we talked about. He's currently on lap 27. You got Andrew Mraz that just finished a 30-lap stint, and Landon Lacey's back out on the racetrack. Seeing if he can improve from that 29.96. That's a straight-up barn burner there. Joey Lamb hitting the racetrack in the number 18 Ford Mustang. Let's see who he has on that car. The showdown at Westwood Auto Detailing. Looks like he's got the fire suit to match it. That's a nice looking car. That is a beautiful looking car. Guys, he's going to bump Mike Campigio out of the top 10 with that 30.45 on his 3rd lap. Hunter Brown on the racetrack. The 24 gearhead Ford Mustang. Oh, I lied. That's not a Ford Mustang. That's a Chevy. Ah! Oh, boy. All right, let's see if we can get a word with Mike Campigio as he's sitting on pit road. Mike, it's AJ in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, pal?
Hey, AJ, how you doing?
Hey, man. Well, it looks like you got somebody new on the car. Let's talk about that first, and we'll talk about your run there. Who you repping this week?
I'm repping a couple buddies of mine, Ryan and Mario's podcast on Spotify. It's called the 12x6 podcast. It's a sports broadcasting podcast all about, their major sports leagues that go on, and then has the Chicago side too, with all the Chicago teams in the area.
Awesome. So explain to me how that number 9 12x6 podcast Chevy Camaro is running here at Charlotte tonight.
Well, so far on this new setup that the Hutch Sport racing guys came up with, it's been very good on the long run. I've been very happy with it on the long run. I can put the car wherever I want, and I have free comfortability in the corners, so I can be aggressive under braking and stuff like that, and the back end doesn't want to snap out. So far, through this first setup that we've been using, it's pretty good, and I think we have a chance to have a good top 10 run tomorrow night.
Awesome, brother. Well, it looks like you're coming off of a nice top 10 at Darlington. I think you finished 8th, if I remember correctly. You're looking to put 2 back-to-back good finishes together. You've been working really hard with it. But how do you feel like you're going to run the 200 miles here at Charlotte Motor Speedway tomorrow night? It's a long race. Do you think you have the car to withstand that grueling of a race?
I hope so. I hope so. You know, that's all you can hope for. Stuff like that. Just got to make sure that I hydrate plenty during the day tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a long night. Running 200 miles, like you said, and it's going to be grueling, both physically and mentally. So just got to be in good shape for tomorrow and just take it easy early on in the race, man. It's just, you can lose the race in the first 50 miles, but you want to be around for the last 50 miles. So that's kind of my goal for tomorrow night, is to be around for those last 50 miles and see what we can do.
Yeah, and it's 300 miles, 200 laps.
Okay, that's an extra mile, 100 miles that I didn't think about, so thank you for telling me that.
Well, if nobody else was going to, I'm happy I was the one that did.
That's true. That makes me, and I have to add a little bit more strategy to my game plan now.
All right, brother. We'll let you get back to practice. Thank you for giving us a couple minutes up here and giving us your thoughts about how tomorrow night and how that car is going to feel.
Sure, no problem. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, dude. That was Mike Campeggio from Hutch Sport Racing, the driver of the number 9 12x6 podcast Chevy Camaro. Always fun talking with them. And let's see, it looks like we got Landon Lacey in the waiting room. Let's talk to him as he's on track. This could be very bad. I could scare the complete crud out of him. All right, Landon, I see you in the waiting room. How you doing, my friend? How's that Filthy 5 Motorsports Chevy Camaro working tonight? Might have completely thrown him off guard there. Or has us completely turned down. It's always a safe bet, but he is the fastest driver out on the racetrack right now by 0.05. We'll give him a try a little bit later, since we have just about another half hour to go before we close up shop for the happy hour practice. He's coming up on Campeggio and Thorndike. A lot of speed coming out of turn number 4. Gonna move it to the inside. Gonna try to get around this 59 as fast as possible. Oh, as Thorndike's gonna get loose. He's gonna save it, and that's gonna give the 52 the run down the backstretch. That was a good move by Lacey, but good job on Thorndike to keeping it down on the apron and then slightly off the apron and then back on the apron. As he's going to go fastest once again, a 29.93. He's going to pull it off the racetrack. All right, let's see what else we got. Got Andrew Mraz on the racetrack once again, putting his 36th lap on the board. Thank you to everybody for tuning in to All-Star 15 TV. This is happy hour practice for the World 300 in the National Sim Group Cup Series. Tomorrow night's race starting at 8:15 p.m. right here on All-Star 15 TV. You're going to see some of your favorite drivers from the National Sim Group Cup Series. This is the practice session where we try to talk to as many drivers as possible, see what's going on around the racetrack, hit those wonderful sponsors, but we need help from you. And yes, you, that's you guys watching at home. or at work. Hopefully not while you're driving. We need you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps everything out, and push All-Star 15 TV and our broadcast, whether it's on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night, to the forefront of YouTube, because their algorithm absolutely stinks, and you need those likes, subs, and viewership. But I gotta thank everybody for watching right now. I do this because it's fun. I do this because it's actually a lot of fun. But literally everybody in this league I have some sort of connection to, whether it's Lacey, Mraz, Thorndike, Laster, Stouffer. I've known Brandon Stouffer in the 83 for almost 10 years, and it's almost coming full circle with a lot of these guys, and it's nice. It's nice that I can give back to a good league, a fun league, and my friends as well. As you got Brandon looking to have some internet issues. Hopefully he gets that fixed by tomorrow. Right behind him is the 29 of Mike Robinson. Looks like he's trying to get his bearings with the Agent Inc. Racing on the hood of that car. Oh, as Brandon Stouffer's going to hit the wall, and that's going to mess up the lap time for Robinson. Joey Lamb still out on the racetrack, looking for a good line here. Got a lot of drivers working on that race setup, working on qualifying sets. I know a lot of times drivers don't like to show their hand with qualifying until it is qualifying. There's a 37 of Denny Daniels right behind Landon Lacey. As Lacey's going to pull over, hit to the apron, and take it to pit road. All right, everybody, we're going to take another commercial break. When we return, we'll see if we can talk to a couple more drivers.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And we're back from Charlotte Motor Speedway here on All-Star 15 TV. It is the National Sim Group Cup Series. It's their practice sessions. We call it happy hour here. Gotta thank the Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast, Wrestling Over Everything, Drinking Bros, Auto Racing, and Hutch Paints. But let's talk to one of our favorite drivers to talk to. Well, it's only last week and this week. Okay, so one of our favorite new drivers to talk to on the channel, since we're picking up the series halfway, is a driver, the number 52, Filthy 5 Motorsports. It's Mr. Landon Lacey. Landon, how you doing, my friend?
Good, sir. Just trying to get a handle on this thing.
how much of a handle do you have on it? Because it looks like a lot of people are getting really loose out of 2 and 4.
Yeah, I think you're either having the problem of loose on the exits or you're super tight like I am, and then it's evolving into a push loose situation. So
Oh, God.
neither of which is very fun.
Well, I will say you are the fastest on board tonight with a 29.93. So even with your issues, you seem to be very, very fast and still very consistently fast. Is that setup, or is that you adapting with what the car is giving you?
Probably a little bit of both. I don't think I'm gonna be able to work much of this out. I think it's just the nature of the race car and nature of the racetrack as well. So there's probably a little bit more that I could adjust to it, but the rest of it's just gonna have to be adjusting my driving on the racetrack.
Well, just watching your lap times over the last 5 to 10 laps, you're not falling off a lot. You're right around everybody else with, 0.04 to a tenth a lap or so over a 5-lap to a 10-lap run. So you're still consistently fast. So working a 300-mile race tomorrow night, it's the World 300, 200 laps around Charlotte Motor Speedway. Is there any sort of self-preparation you have to get yourself into?
No, not really. For myself, I've ran a couple of the 24-hour races that iRacing puts on every year, like the 24 hours of Daytona, 24 hours of Le Mans. I've ran the 24 hours with Spa a couple times. So I mean, I've got a lot of endurance preparation. Not necessarily on the oval side, but still, it helps.
Absolutely. I know for myself, can't do it. There's literally a bathroom button that I need to hit like every 45 minutes to an hour. But I was just going to say you were crazy for doing all those, especially in like a 1-year stint. It sounds like you're an endurance racing fiend, it looks like. But hey, it's translating to the oval side because you've been very competitive and very fun to watch.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The endurance races have helped. I also run a little bit of dirt on the side to help with car control. Anytime you can get into something else to help better improve yourself. Heck, even just driving this car, it'll help somewhere else in another discipline on iRacing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think you were 100% correct with that. And were you the driver that won last week?
I was.
Ah, so you're the one that I need to pay. Got it. Cool. I will get to you that soon. I did not forget. It's just been a really crazy weekend or last week too. But hey, congratulations at winning the throwback race last week. Before we let you go, I saw that you almost got loose there right behind Andrew Mraz. Sponsors, hit them.
Yeah, thanks to 55 Motorsports for everything that they do. Thanks to Riot Motorsports as well. We've had a really good alliance with those guys. It's worked out very, very well so far this season. Thanks to you for coming aboard and doing the broadcast here for the rest of the season. Thanks to all the admins that helped put this on. And other than that, thank you to everybody that's gotten me here to this point.
All right, brother. Well, good luck. Hopefully we talk to you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. That was the driver, the number 52, currently P1 in practice, Landon Lacey. Love talking to our drivers. I'm going to try to do this almost every week, or at least the big events, as tomorrow the World 300, a big event with the National Sim Group Cup Series. Oh, Joey Lamb and the 52 of Lacey almost get into it. But let's check out some of our other drivers. You got Jim Thorndike sitting in that 4th position. He's had a rocket ship since the practice started. Looks to be him and about 4 of the drivers on the track right now. Well, while we're looking at Jim Thorndike on the timing and scoring on your left-handed side, those are the makes and models of every single driver in the field right now that is practicing. Looks Ford dominated. But all 3 of the top 3, Lacey, Mraz, and Williams, Chevy, Toyota, and Ford, representing all 3 makes and models right in that top 3. There's John Tiller making an expressway to pit road, as he's going to jump to pit road right now. Campigio's back on the racetrack. He said the car was comfortable. We talked to him earlier. If you want to go back and listen to that, it was about 10 or 15 minutes ago. He said the car was comfortable, but the thing is, when a car is comfortable, yeah, it's nice to drive, but it's tight to drive. And right now, he's currently sitting in that 16th position, and he's going to need to pick it up if he wants to really be that top 10 car that he's expecting to be tomorrow night. "13 of Brayton Laster on the racetrack once again for another run. Almost run about 40 laps in that McConey setup shop Ford Mustang. There's John Tiller again, hitting the racetrack once again. Nathan Lyons coming out of pit road to get some laps in. He's going to take the green on his 7th lap. Currently sitting in that 14th position with a 30.39. Currently up to speed. Let's see what he can do for a lap. See if he can improve on that 30.39. Well, here he goes. We're riding the wall cam for a little while there. And Nathan will not improve with a 31.04. Gonna stick with him another lap. And out of turn 4 at the line, does he improve there? Almost. That lap was a lot faster than the 31. Now it's a 30.42. So it's getting better. He's getting that car nice and tuned out. He's going to try to use the high side to get around Dalton Fredericks here. Oh, and he's just going to get loose, and there he goes. There's the number 30 of Gary Wells running the All-Star 15 TV banner on that number 30 Chevy Camaro. Gary currently sitting in that 10th position with the fastest lap of a 30.27. Just about 3/10 off the fastest lap. As he's going to try to get by the 18. It's just practice, so whatever moves you make now, kind of simulates how your car's going to be in traffic. Let's see, does he improve off of that? No, about 4/10 off his fastest lap. Look at Joey Lamb run that high side. Gonna see it from the blimp cam here, high above Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh, he's also gonna get into the wall. And I think he's gonna take that number 18 onto pit road. And we will jump to the 29 of Mike Robinson in the 16th position with Jim Thorndike to his outside. God, I can't get enough of that number 59. It's a beautiful looking scheme and a really fast driver out on the racetrack in that number 59. Oh, and there goes Robinson. That looked like it was going to hurt. Currently got 19 drivers that have posted a lap time here in practice. Practice? Gonna be going for about another 10 to 15 minutes. Gonna try to talk to another driver or two. But right now, you're looking at Jim Thorndike in the number 59 putting a lot of laps down in this practice session. Right now he has the most laps, followed shortly by the number 4 of Andrew Mraz with 63 right now. Very consistent lap times too. Off of his fastest time, just about 2.5 tenths. Look for that 59 to be very fast tomorrow night. See, there's Denny Daniels once again in that 8th position. He is getting faster. As I say that, he gets loose out of turn number 2. Really gotta stop talking about drivers. Quentin Clark putting down a couple laps. That'll put him 12th on board. The number 94, Filthy 5 Motorsports. Good to see those guys being fast here at Charlotte. Why don't we jump on board with the number 94 and see how Quentin's running. Kind of sounds like that 94 is bottoming out just a tad. Could be an issue while tires... Oh, he's going to get loose and keep it on the racetrack. Great car control there by Quentin. Wow, that was definitely a brown pants moment. And there he goes. He's going to, hit the extended pit wall. Ow, that's going to hurt in the morning. Brighton Laster in that 4th position with a very fast lap on his last run at 30.05. Lacey out for another run, currently working with the 12 of John Tiller. Oh, and Tiller is going to get loose. Well, when we talked to Lacey, he did say you're either going to be really loose or pushing tight. Well, we're looking at the spotter view from the top of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Seeing what the spotter sees. There goes the 52. Oh, he's going to hit the inside wall halfway down the backstretch. That'll bring that car back to pit road as Jason Blaney goes by on that outside. Means a lot for all the drivers that wanted to come talk to us tonight. Definitely helps out the channel. Still looking at Jason Blaney. Driver we haven't really talked about is the driver, the number 20 Ford Mustang, Dalton Fredericks, running another All-Star 15 TV car. As you see the 24 of Hunter Brown to the inside. Tomorrow night's looking to be fun right here on All-Star 15 TV. It's the World 300. Broadcast is going to go live right around 8:15, so set your clocks, set your alarms. Be here on All-Star 15 TV right around that 8:15 time Eastern, and you are going to see one hell of a show when it comes to the National Sim Group Cup Series. Looks like 3 Hutch Sport racing cars right there. Got Fredericks, Wells, and I think the 88 is Landon? Yes, that is Landon. He's 32 in sim for some reason. Oh, Dalton Fredericks with a really good lap there. Probably a draft lap, a 30.07. There's Andrew Moraz again, still out on the racetrack. Honestly, out of the drivers that have yet to win a race, this guy, he is due. He's fast every single week. Unfortunately, he gets caught up in stuff that is none of his business and just unfortunate circumstances, but I would not be surprised if he goes out tomorrow night and just drives away from everybody. That number 4 has been bad fast all year. Trust me, I know. I've watched every single race. Alright, well, we're going to hit break one more time, and when we return, we're going to bring you the final 5 minutes of the National Sim Group Cup Series happy hour event for the World 300 tomorrow night.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
And we are back. Nathan Lyons with a good lap there to put him just outside that top 10 in 11th. See if we could talk to the driver number 30 that now that he's not on the racetrack, Mr. Gary Wells. Oh, he's not even in the Discord no more. Oh boy. Alright, let's see if we can get a hold of him. Oh, he's already up here. Huh. I guess I don't have to pull you, Gary. Gary, what's up, dude? How does that number 30 feel out on the racetrack?
Well, it's definitely a solid top 10, top 11 car for tomorrow. Hopefully we can stick it out a little bit like last week if there's a little bit of attrition. 300-mile race, going to be a long one. Hopefully we can pull another top 10, if not another top 5 out of this thing.
So you mentioned 300 miles. We've talked about it all broadcast with this practice session. How difficult is that going to be for a lot of the drivers and cars?
I think it's going to be more so difficult for the drivers. I mean, last week was a little bit more of a test. They ran 200 miles last week at Darlington. It was a fairly clean race until the end with about 10, 15 to go. But for the most part, it seemed like everybody was doing a lot of give and take. And a lot of the incidents were racing incidents. So I'm hoping that with doing Darlington and Charlotte back to back, I'm hoping we'll see more of the same deal tomorrow. 200 laps is a long time around here. It's the longest race that we run all season. So these guys are definitely going to have their work cut out for them to just keep their car ready until the end of this thing.
Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow, not just because it's the first broadcast for the National Sim Group Cup Series right here on All-Star 15 TV, but I watched last week's race, and that is probably one of the toughest racetracks, one of the toughest ovals on any sort of circuit that I've ever seen in iRacing or that I've watched or broadcasted. But then you guys come to a track everybody has, everybody's run a lot of. As we see Dalton Fredericks wreck on the backstretch, getting really loose coming out of 2. But I think that has a lot to do into it with it's Charlotte. Everybody, even if you don't run ovals, you have Charlotte Motor Speedway or have run Charlotte Motor Speedway at some point. So I think that's going to play a lot into it. You have a lot of drivers with a lot of talent, a lot of setup talent. And after the heels of last week with the throwback race and how awesome of a race that was, I think you guys are going to put on one hell of a show, Gary.
Yeah, and just by looking at the one-lap times here in practice, I mean, there's barely a half a second, 0.3 of a second in between first and last. So it's going to be a very tight field tomorrow. I think if everybody races with their heads, races clean the whole time, I think we'll have a really good show. I mean, last week at Darlington, we had a couple of 25 to 30 lap runs there in the midst of the race. So everybody was keeping their heads relatively cool there. So I'm hoping more for the same tomorrow. I think we're going to be, I think you guys are going to be in for a really good show on All Star 15 TV. I'm excited for it, of course, with you stepping up and doing the broadcasts. And of course, you know, a lot of these cars out here are looking good already. Some are still running the throwbacks from last week. Some rolled out brand new cars just for this week anyway. So I think it's going to be a really good race tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so as well. But final thoughts with your 30 car. You've run, as I'm trying to find it right now, you've run just about 70 laps. Over that 70 laps, or however your longest run was, how does the car feel from beginning to end? How does that tire ratio, like, wear, feel throughout of a run? Just to give everybody watching at home a glimpse of how these drivers are going to have to fight their vehicles.
Yeah, I think we just started hitting on something with the last 20 lap run that we did. The rest of them have been about anywhere from 10 to 15 laps. I think we're really starting to hit on something here last minute. We found something here. We're going to make a couple more tweaks, and then we're probably going to put the cover on it for the night. But the tire wear here is incredible. I mean, if you don't manage your tires well in the first 10, 15 laps, you will notice it very quick. The car is just going to push like a dump truck, and it's just going to be slow the rest of the run. So how you run your first 10 to 15 laps or so is really going to affect how you do the last 30 or 40 laps, because we can run about 65 laps on a tank of gas. That'll be something to write down for tomorrow. So with the stages being at 75 and 150, if that first stage goes green, everybody's going to have to pit one time. So that'll be something to watch for tomorrow.
So you're saying the first stage is at 75, the second stage is at 150, and then we finish the race at 200?
That's right.
That's a weird setup that we don't normally see, but, you know, hey, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to watch right here on All-Star 15 TV. It's pretty different. We usually see it backwards, where the short stint is at the front, but hey, what can I say? Everybody's in for a treat. Throw a little wrench in everybody's strategy. But Gary,
and with it being a longer race tomorrow, I think when we put the schedule together, we just wanted to get some laps under our belt, have that longer run at the beginning of the race, and then at the end of the race, have that shorter run at the end. I think we're going to see how it goes. I know with the real Charlotte 600 that they do in real life, they split it up into 4 segments of 100 laps. We were thinking about doing 4 50-lap segments, but pit strategy would have been way too predictable at that point. So I think going with the 3 and having the long run at the beginning, I think it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to throw a wrench through everybody's strategy. I agree with you there.
Absolutely, Gary. Well, thank you for coming up here, talking with us, giving a little bit of a knowledge bomb. But hopefully we get to talk to you at some point tomorrow night as we see an issue with Landon Lacey and Quentin Clark in 1 and 2. It looked like both cars with a little tight and loose mixture there.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to do this, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, Gary. Catch you later, my friend.
See you.
All right, everybody, that was the driver, the number 30, Gary Wells for Hutch Sport Racing. Well, it's been an hour, just over an hour. Want to thank everybody here for pretty much doing what you're doing, putting on a show. I know it's just happy hour practice. We talked to Gary, Landon Lacey, as I'm going through the list here, Mike Campigio, Jason Blaney. I think that might have been it with who we talked to. Want to thank all of them for giving us a little bit of time. And everybody at home, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow night, it is the World 300 right here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. 8:15 tomorrow night. We're going to go live. It's going to be a 200-lap race, a 300-mile event. But until then, in about an hour, in about a half hour, we're going to go live with the Extreme Forces Racing League, the Miles Mayhem 100 from Dover Motor Speedway. So if you want to see more racing tonight, we'll be right here on the channel in just about a half hour. See you later, everybody. Stay cool, stay safe, and we will see you on the next show.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.